Oh, I'm nervous. I'm not sure if you noticed or not on my YouTube channel, but I have uploaded 4 or 5 videos of keeping a English journal by myself. And I thought, why don't I be bothered to go over internet to find a lot of topics while OPIc test already lay all the topics out. So I picked one I'm going to be answering as if it was a real test.
Okay.
And then, if you don't mind, you can give any feedback or correction.
Sure.
Did you get the message?
I did.
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay.
Take your time.
Okay. I'm ready.
Discuss some of the things that you do when going to a coffee shop. What does a typical visit to the coffee shop consist of?
Okay. The speech that I'm going to give you to answer this question might sound a little bit different than that of other people. And I think I should begin answering this question by saying I've launched and run my own business for over 5 or 6 years. And the thing is, I don't have my own office, and I will not have my own office because there's no reason for me to pay a fixed rent or something. And instead, it's a cafe where I usually work, especially nearby where I live. And therefore, there's only one thing that I do in a cafe, which is work. That's it, period. And then of course, I do what other people do as well. For example, of course, as soon as I get in a cafe, I need to order one beverage or coffee. On most occasions, I order cup of hot Americano, because that option is much cheaper than other options on the menu. And once I place my order, then it's time to get a kind of, how do I call it, pager or buzzer that vibrates and rings at the same time, that signals your menu's ready. I think buzzer or pager all exists in Korea as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not sure. And thanks to this kind of unique Korean system, I don't have to stand and wait until my menu comes up. And once I settle in among a lot of seats there, now it's time to work. And you might be concerned that what if there is no Wi-Fi, or what if there's no outlet? But the thing is, the vast majority of cafes in Korea provide not only free access to Wi-Fi or internet, and also most of them have electrical outlets or sockets that I can plug in my charger, so I don't have to worry about what if my battery runs out or something like that. So I think that's pretty much what I usually do when I go to cafe. Whatever cafe I go to is work, order coffee, and sit, and that's it. Thank you for listening.
Great.
Really nervous, oh my God.
Your answer was great. There's really not much to say in terms of mistakes. You didn't make many. You said you don't have an office. Instead, it's a cafe where I usually work.
Exactly.
It's okay. You can definitely say it like that, but the word order is just a little bit like awkward. Instead, I choose to usually work in a cafe. Or
I choose to usually work in a cafe.
And instead, I usually work in a cafe.
Very good.
It's a cafe where I usually work. You usually work.
That sentence sounds a little bit awkward to you.
It sounded just a little bit.
Oh, really?
Awkward.
Can I ask you why?
So it's like you've added this information as a secondary thought, but it's crucial information about what you're doing. We're talking about what you're doing in the cafe. Usually when we want to add unimportant information about the noun, we use these clauses like that, the cafe that I work in, or the cafe where I work. And you can take these clauses out because they're not important. But this information about working there is so important, I would flip it around. Does that make sense?
Of course.
It's hard to explain.
I think this comes down to a just different way of thinking between Korean and British. Because I put, what was that? Cafe in front of other things intentionally. I wanted to put emphasis on it's a cafe
Right.
where I work. But I'm happy to, notice the difference.
I see.
Okay.
You might be concerned, what if there's no... It would be better, instead of saying you, the person that you're addressing, speak more generally. So someone might be concerned rather than you might be concerned. Why would I be concerned about the Wi-Fi? But what you're saying is hypothetically, someone who chooses to work in a cafe might be concerned about the Wi-Fi, right?
That makes sense. So I should have said, if someone might be concerned about the fact that they couldn't have any Wi-Fi there,
That's right.
instead of I or you.
Exactly.
What if I meant to say to listeners, let's say I'm really taking this test, OPIc test, and there must be a person who evaluates my speaking skills, then could I say in the context you?
So you're saying my choice is to work in a cafe and you might be wondering or you might be concerned, what if there's no Wi-Fi? If you were directly speaking to the audience, yes, you could use it, I guess.
Okay. Thank you for your kind explanation, although it sounds very tricky.
Not easy. Well, last one. You said, whatever cafe I go to, it's work. And we just have the preposition here. It's for work. Whatever cafe I go to, it's for work.
Okay, it's
rather
for
than
work.
It's work.
Because I go there for working.
Exactly right. Whatever cafe I go to, it's for work.
Okay. And I forgot to ask a question when you explained about what it's like to order in a British cafe. Most of cafes in Korea, there is a so-called kiosk. Do you know what kiosk is?
When you order on a screen rather than with a person?
Yeah, which allows us to not to wait, but just, choose the menu there. And then the buzzer or pager vibrates and rings, and you can go and get your drinks.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that kind of thing also existed in Britain.
It's hard to tell. I've lived here nearly 10 years, so I haven't spent a lot of time in English cafes. But I think so. I think all of the chains would have... I think, restaurants like McDonald's would have started that sort of ordering system first.
Correct.
As soon as you go in and you order. And it's probably trickled down into cafes and things, But an independent store, no, you wouldn't have.
Okay.
You wouldn't have it. You would just go in and order with the person at the counter.
And is the word kiosk also common common expression that British people use? Kiosk.
Sure, we use kiosk,
Okay. Very
totally
good.
natural.